I mean, that's another thing with this is Trump is just like indestructible. That man has the thickest fucking plot armor of any goddamn person. It's like unreal. It's like unreal. If this was in a movie, it would be an unrealistic like writing scenario. If this was a TV show, I'd be like, yeah, there's no fucking way. This is ridiculous. I mean, think about it. He, for one thing, he was never supposed to win like the first time. And then he did. He blows her away. The second time, he's like a massive failure. Everyone's pissed off at him. COVID's destroying everything. He loses to like an old, decrepit man, and it goes out in the most undignified way possible. He's totally disgraced. He was like a pariah, and then he starts getting like all these criminal lawsuits against him. Gets convicted of 34 counts, 34 felony counts. He's a convicted felon. 2 people try to kill him. He gets shot almost in the head, like grazed his ear. And then comes back and is reelected again after everything, after he inspired a riot on the Capitol. I mean, it's like crazy. It's crazy. Completely wild. And he's never going to have to. The thing is, he will never face consequences for fucking any of it. For any of it. That's the most amazing thing. Like, because he became president, they're going to throw out all of it. All of it just goes away. Poof. Like, no convictions, nothing. He gets remembered as, as historically significant president. All of this shit. It's crazy. He'll be beloved by tens of millions of people. Wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, I'm sure he'll always be hated too. That'll probably always be a thing, but still, he'll die a billionaire and he'll be a 2-term happy man. It's completely amazing. After he just totally like hijacked the Republican Party and completely mentally deranged them. And Trump's gotten so lucky, never having like going on again about Trump, how he doesn't have to like ever face consequences for anything. All of his criminal, what would it be? Like trials and shit, and his convictions and all that will just disappear. But on top of it, politically, he doesn't have to face any repercussions for anything either. I mean, I guess you could say he had a repercussion from all the shit about failing with COVID and stuff like that because he got voted out once. But being voted back in for a non-consecutive term is almost even better because then he didn't have to put up with any of the fallout from his actions during COVID. Like inflation, I've said this before, would have happened anyway. Like that would have happened. It happened everywhere in the world. And he was doing the same stuff Biden was doing, even on the way out. Remember this, on the way out of office, he was arguing that they should be giving even more money to people. Okay. I don't know that he was he arguing to even start opening stuff back up again? He was like giving Fauci like a presidential medal of freedom and stuff. So I'm pretty sure he was still like okay with all the lockdowns and shit. So yeah, the inflation would have happened no matter fucking what. That was an aftershock of COVID, and him and Biden didn't really have different COVID policies. So, there is that. He didn't have to deal with any of that because now the economy is probably going to start recovering. It already has started to some extent, hasn't completely recovered, but they had a soft landing essentially. The recession didn't really happen. So, they got out of it. Things sucked for a while. Inflation was high and it kind of sucked, but looks like it's kind of coming back around. And then what else? He didn't have to deal with the fallout from Afghanistan. He wanted to pull out of Afghanistan. He never had to deal with that. He never had to he says now, well, I never would have done that. It wouldn't have happened that way if I was doing it. That's easy enough to fucking say because you didn't have to do it. He didn't have to that was going to happen. The Taliban was going to come back. No matter fucking what. No matter what. Now, maybe the one thing that's true is that he wouldn't have. No, he would have had to leave all the weapons there. Is he going to send troops back in to get our equipment? No fucking way. So, yeah, that probably would have happened too. Doesn't have to deal with shit. Any of the consequences for what he did. It's amazing.